In continuation of our end-of-year review on sectors, today we turn our focus on education, where there were mixed feelings as students were randomly abducted from their dormitories. University and colleges of education lecturers were at loggerheads with the federal government, while some students are now exploring other ways of learning and earning while at it. Well, let's get more details on this sector as we have Victor Matthias to tell us about this. Also, Victor, what do we need to know concerning this?
So pretty much, let me just give you the tip of the iceberg. There were tears of joy, tears, from pain, and also, like you said, students were learning and they were earning at it. So it wasn't just sorrow or pain. There were some joys and, there were some wins for the education sector. But, let's just take a look at this report, to get more details on what or how the sector fared in the year 2021.
Nigeria's education sector has been plagued by underfunding over the years, with annual budgets falling far below the recommended level by the United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF. This has resulted in poorly managed public education system, deplorable learning environment, lack of necessary tools and equipment for instruction, and ill-equipped teachers, amongst many other factors. Security of the students became a thing of concern for both parents and students in the year 2021.
We are pleading on the government to come and rescue us. Most of us here have been injured, badly injured.
As part of the measures to address the challenge of underfunding, which has pitched the government against the Academic Staff Union of Universities, resulting in frequent industrial actions by the lecturers, the Nigerian government secured international support during the Education Summit hosted by the UK in 2021.
Throughout all the meetings we've had Tuesday and Wednesday, we've now gotten a commitment that seems like Nigeria will walk away with nearly $120 million that we'll then negotiate how we can use them, especially targeting the states that are most vulnerable, because there are large areas in the country where a lot of impact hasn't been made.
At that event, President Muhammadu Buhari also promised to increase the budget for education by 50%. However, only a 0.51% increase was achieved in the 2022 budget, but was cut down by 9.19% during approval phase by the National Assembly. The challenge of out-of-school children remains a daunting one, even with several measures such as school feeding programs and other incentives being adopted to attract children to schools. Over 10 million of them are still out of school.
Because of the feeding, everybody wants to come to school. All the children and all the parents want their children to come to school, at least to eat food and learn.
We have seen how our children are now roaming about, out of school children, and this is not healthy for all of us. So the only thing for us is to make efforts and then put heads together so that we can salvage this situation as quickly as possible.
The outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic exposed Nigeria's educational system, as well as the work environment, to what will later be referred to as the new normal. It also exposed the labor market to job cuts, revenue losses, but surprisingly, local and international remote work which requires unique skill set, which is not available for learning in Nigeria's educational curriculum, resulting in debates on whether or not to amend the current one. Now, though the Nigerian educational curriculum doesn't make provisions for courses like machine learning, software engineering, augmented reality, and the likes, universities have seen the need to expose students to these courses and are now partnering with the private sector and even the government to make hubs available so that students can make use of them to enjoy the benefits that arise from studying these courses. Arafat Ogunfemi, who is a beneficiary of both the nano and normal degrees, highlights the benefits.
I am studying surveying and geoinformatics engineering, and I work with an international company. It helped my family, it helps me. It's been really great. Really.
With Nigeria's unemployment rate projected to have hit 40% by the end of 2021, and a Google IFC report projecting Africa's internet economy to be worth $180 billion by 2025, the 700,000 developers in Africa will not be enough to fill in the millions of vacancies out there. This has necessitated some Nigerians to take the bull by the horn.
We now realize that one thing missing is the skills. what are people really being taught in school? Are they really prepared for the job market? Some skills are required, which is, you need developers to do that, and those are the skills. We just need to, and what we are doing is, you don't need to have knowledge, prior knowledge of this.
It is my belief that, I mean, for a lot of the faculties across our universities and polytechnics, there needs to be a significant upgrade, of the curriculum, because the jobs are changing, the jobs of the future are changing, and we cannot stick to the past and rely on a curriculum of 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Given the realities on the ground, it is expected that policymakers will in this new year address the issue of funding and focus on strengthening the curriculum with the aim of equipping the youth with the skill set needed to thrive in the 21st century.
Well, so that's how it played out. But, like moving forward now, I'd like to see a consolidation of the wins that we had. I'd like to see the provision of more security around schools. I think we're seeing that already. And also a harmony between the federal government and the legislature, like the report, that was said in the report, the allocation, the budgetary allocation to education, though the president promised 50% increase, that didn't happen this time around. And what he even increased, there was a cut, during the passage of the bill. So hopefully in this year we'll see a totally different ball game in terms of all of those things that I mentioned, and of course we'll see more people going for nano certifications and nano degrees.
Definitely we'll keep our eyes on that, as well as all the Nigerians. Our correspondent Victor Matthias, we thank you for that insight and that report.
Anytime.